Alright everybody, welcome back to another video in which I'm going to react to a little video clip that I came across on Instagram the other day that I think reveals everything that is wrong with traditional financial media. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, hi again. So yesterday I was chilling on my couch next to my wife. Both of us were probably scrolling a little bit on our phones, and well, I was browsing Instagram, looking some short form reels, and then one Financial Times clip was displayed to me, and all I have to say is I was perplexed after watching it, because I think it teaches all the wrong lessons that a well-known medium could teach about investing. So I would suggest we're going to take a look at that clip today. We're going to break it down. I'm going to add some more context. I'm going to add some critical comments here. Later on, I will actually reveal some of the benefits of that show too, so we'll get to that as well. But I would suggest we are just going to start. So I've pulled the clip on my computer, and we're just going to watch it together now. So let's go.
Have gone on ChatGPT and said, give me some stock suggestions.
Have you?
I have.
What did ChatGPT suggest?
It gave me Palantir.
The data company.
I think it's AI related.
Okay, let's stop here for a moment. So first of all, like generally speaking, playing around with AI, I don't think there's anything wrong about it. In fact, I've been implementing AI in my investment research process, and I think it really helps up to speed up my process, maybe even improve the quality of my analytical work. But I think that's about it. It's a tool in your overall toolkit. At the end of the day, you will have to make the judgment yourself. But what I also noticed in the first few seconds of that clip is that that young lady, and by the way, I should explain the format of what we are looking at right here. So I actually did some more research. The show is called Money Clinic. People call in, they describe their financial situation, their investing strategy, and then later on some experts come on the show and give their take on what has been said. So what I also notice here is that she has no idea what she's investing in. So she says, well, Palantir, I think it's AI related. Well, what this clip reminds me of, you might remember the clip from CNBC from the COVID bubble. There was this investor pumping one of the stocks he owns. I think it was a company called Upstart, boasting that it's up like 25% over 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, so well, Upstart's up about 25% just in 4 days since we bought it. We bought it on about 4 days ago.
And then he was asked about the business model of the underlying business, and then he basically pretended to lose connection, which I think that clip itself was hilarious and will be remembered for quite some time.
Very powerful, very strong earnings. These stocks are.
What do they do? I don't even know them. What do they do?
Excuse me?
What does Upstart do?
Well, I'm sorry.
What kind of company is it?
Yeah, I'm not. You're breaking up.
Oh, well, I guess we've got to.
This is what I'm reminded of when I hear this. I think it's AI related, but then again, I don't really know what the business is doing. But hey, ChatGPT suggested it, so I thought, why not invest some of my hard-earned money into that individual stock, which is of course a losing strategy. Let's continue.
I bought it about 2 or 3 months ago maybe, and it's up around 100%.
Wow. And what did you ask ChatGPT?
See, what I could add here too is, okay, bought it 2 or 3 months ago, up 100%, 2x, nice, congratulations. I think this young lady, I think she's 29, what she doesn't understand, however, is where the return of stocks actually come from. So what you have to realize is that if a stock goes up 2x in the matter of 3 months, that's not a sustainable growth rate in the underlying stock price that you will be able to enjoy over the long term. In fact, for most companies, unless the stock was maybe trading at an extremely depressed valuation multiple, say 5 times earnings. For the most times when a stock doubles over a short time frame, well, it's driven by massive and overdone multiple expansion. Like in the case of Palantir, at least that's my perception of the underlying stock.
I want a stock similar to Nvidia or other kind of industries that, you know, are likely to jump up quite a lot, but they...
Okay, let's stop here. So let's talk about the prompt she gave ChatGPT here. She's looking for a stock similar to Nvidia. Again, that's not the kind of prompt that you would want to use for ChatGPT. Because what does Nvidia stand for? Obviously a highly successful investment. No doubt about that. A highly successful company as well. The ultimate AI winner. However, I think in investing, what you have to realize, and that's a quote I frequently bring up, is you can't invest in what's popular and expect to do well in investing. I think it's a Peter Lynch quote. Might be wrong here, please double check. But the point being, like, if I were to use ChatGPT for idea generation, so finding stocks that might deliver good returns going forward, which I think is not something you should do. But if I were to do it, I would probably prompt something like, give me a list of 50 companies that are operating in unloved sectors right now and that are trading at depressed prices. Something like that. And not like, give me the ultimate hype stock, which I think Nvidia in a way represents. Okay, let's continue.
Are likely to jump up quite a lot, but they haven't yet got hyped. I only put...
Okay, again, sorry for interrupting the video all the time. So her prompt was to get a stock that hasn't been hyped yet. And ChatGPT comes up with Palantir, which, don't get me wrong here, but I think it's the ultimate hype stock right now. So you've got Bitcoin, like everyone's pumping Bitcoin. And then once you get to real businesses, you got Palantir at the very top. At least that's my perception. So this shows that ChatGPT's responses can be flawed too, and it requires critical thinking. So you have to critically assess whether what ChatGPT is, quote unquote, telling you does actually add value.
Percentages of my portfolio in each of these risky picks because I like to diversify it out.
You've got some crypto, you're invested in personalised number plates, and you've made some very risky stock picks, but the majority of your portfolio is in index tracking funds.
Yeah, which I know people say are completely overpriced, which goes on to my next theory, which is why I invested in Palantir and some of these stocks. I think everyone right now is just investing emotionally and there's money to be made there. So I just go for it.
Okay, that's funny because I think she's contradicting herself right here. So she's saying everyone is investing emotionally. That's why major stock market indices are seemingly trading at high prices, high levels, and that's why she wants to take a different route. And the route she takes is she goes to ChatGPT and she basically asks it, I'm paraphrasing here, give me a stock that is likely to shoot up in the short and medium term. Isn't that emotional decision making? So far, I haven't heard anything in her take that was analytical in nature. So I think she is emotional too. She's, for the lack of a better term here, she's greedy too. She's looking for nice, sweet, comfortable gains, which usually there's a price for that to pay in the form of volatility or lower future expected returns.
If you had to describe to me in a word or even in a phrase what your investment strategy is.
Just for fun. Honestly, like, I don't take it too seriously. I'm young, a little bit dumb, but not too dumb, hopefully.
Okay, final take here, and then I'll reveal what the experts later said as well, which I think was adding some more value. So when her answer to the question, what's your strategy, is just for fun, in a way, she's just saying, I have no strategy. As human beings, we are notoriously suffering from a whole ton of different biases. And obviously, no one wants to admit that, well, she's not going to sit there and say, well, I don't have a strategy. So she's paraphrasing it and sort of lying to herself by saying, well, I'm just investing for fun. I'm young. Maybe I'm a little, quote unquote, dumb. I'm quoting her here. But that's not a winning strategy. Like, why are you doing that? You're working hard for your money. Why would you gamble it away? Now, to add some more context, so the video is probably going to be titled Everything That Is Wrong with Financial Media. And here's why I think that's the case here. So as I said earlier, I came across that clip on Instagram Reels, and we watched it in full now. So there's no added context here. And I think the takeaway from your average show is going to be, well, maybe I should try that too. Maybe I should go to ChatGPT and ask it for a quote-unquote hype stock. But there was no critical comment made here by the Financial Times. And I actually went to ChatGPT myself and asked it what the Financial Times as a medium is associated with, because my understanding is that it is definitely associated with integrity, high quality editorials, high quality analysis. And like, just to give you a few bullet points ChatGPT gave me. So global business focus, distinctive appearance, analytical reporting, readers associated with high quality investigative journalism, thought leadership, and expert analysis of market trends and economic policies. Yeah, and then there's more. And And I don't think the clip is reflecting that at all. So the show host here, she wasn't critically questioning what she was saying at all. No critical comments at all. What I will say, however, is that later on the show, two experts, I think financial advisors, actually joined the show and had their take to what that young lady actually said. And I think what they are sharing is actually much more valuable. Took some notes here as well. Let me just find it. So just two things. So first of all, one of the guys said, well, that when it's fun, that's what the young lady literally said. That's usually what you experience in a bull market, but that usually doesn't bode well for future expected returns. So he's highlighting what I said as well. And then he also highlights that in your actual wealth building, the wealth building pillar of your portfolio, well, what do you invest in there should actually be boring. And I agree with that as well. So some of the best investments that you will make are going to be boring investments, be it an index fund, maybe a company just operating in a boring industry that is overlooked, hence trading at a depressed price. That is just going to be able to continue to executing its business strategy, maybe eventually experiencing a re-rating, if not buy back their own stock, stuff like that. So that is actually something I'm doing right now. I'm researching a company that is operating a business that is extremely boring, extremely unloved, and I think that's where you are going to be able to find opportunities. Okay, let me know what you think about this clip, whether you think a lot of things are wrong about financial media, what is wrong with traditional financial media. I'll talk to you in my comments.